All right. Happy 420, everybody. And
Happy
to our
420.
friends in Mountain Time, a special happy 420 because it just struck 420. My name's Abdullah.
And Bean, hey.
And we are from a podcast called Great Moments in Weed History. And we're here to play a little trivia game with you. We've got 10 questions lined up. And if you've listened to our podcast, then you'll probably do pretty well on this. But this is all knowledge from weed history, and that's what our show is all about. So let's dive right in and get started with the first question. So if you've got a pen and paper, you're ready to go. You could take notes on your phone or whatever you want to do. And it's multiple choice, so just write down the number and the letter, and you're good to go. All right, number one. Which music legend smoked a joint on the roof of the White House? Was it A, Jerry Garcia, B, Willie Nelson, C, Louis Armstrong, or D, Aretha Franklin?
All right, you got just a few seconds to answer. In the meantime, let's all just think of what an incredible weed supergroup that would be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know that they would churn out hits were they given the opportunity to get in the studio together. But of course, there can only be one, and the answer is B, Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson smoked a joint on the roof of the White House with Chip Carter, son of one of our coolest presidents, Jimmy Carter, who turned a blind eye to the red-headed stranger Willie Nelson and his son Chip blazing up on the roof of the White House.
Indeed. Bean, why don't you take us into number two?
All right, number two. What year did famed poet, memoirist, and civil rights icon Maya Angelou smoke Griffa, which is what she called cannabis, for the very first time, an event that totally changed her life? Was it A, 1947, B, 1958, C, 1962, or D, 2012? A lot of people don't even know that Maya Angelou was a Griffa head.
Yeah, seriously. And this is the hardest question, I think, in the entire test. So if you got this one right, good for you. The answer is A, 1947. Maya Angelou has been doing it since back in the day.
That is some old school Griffa smoking.
Yes, indeed. Now, number three, a group of radical, anarchistic youth activists created a street protest movement in the Netherlands that led to the creation of cannabis coffee shops and seed companies. What were they called? Was it A, the Yippies, B, the Provos, C, the Flying Dutchman, or D, the Hemp Brigade? All viable options, all really cool names, but only one of them is the answer.
And among many things these people did, they actually used to plant pot seeds in front of the police station in Amsterdam and all over the country, play all kinds of pranks. You can hear this story and many, many more on our podcast, Great Moments in Weed History. And this legendary group was
the Provos. Indeed, it was the Provos, and they were out there doing it in the streets. Shout out to Provos for making Amsterdam a weedy place. All right, so number four. Who got the Beatles high for the first time? Was it A, Muddy Waters, B, Marilyn Monroe, C, Peter Tosh, or D, Bob Dylan? And yes, folks, the Beatles were booze and speed exclusively, and cigarettes perhaps for a long time, until this one person met up with them in New York City and offered them some weed, and you better believe it, they made Ringo try it first, because he is known as the
expendable Beatle, but for a minute he was
the coolest Beatle. That's right, but only for a minute, and then everything changed. Go for it, B. What's
and the answer is, of course,
oh yeah, right. We're doing the answer. Yeah. The answer is Bob Dylan. Yes, and of course that answer comes with a bonus of Bean's Bob Dylan impression, which is world famous.
No, that was Bob Dylan live, man. I gotta go, but
that was
thanks for joining us, Bob Dylan.
Wow, for that cameo.
All right, here's a question that gets to the very heart of actual real weed culture. We love our celebrities and our musicians and our artists who represent cannabis and this culture, but we also have our own heroes, and here's two of them. Brownie Mary and Dennis Perone were both arrested multiple times for providing free cannabis to AIDS patients. They also helped pass some of America's first medical cannabis laws in what city? A, Los Angeles, B, San Francisco, C, New York City, or D, Denver?
Yep, every American city has a weed story of some sort when it comes to legalization now. And, you know, that's an incredible thing. But it all started in one place. And, you know, that place
Yeah, and if you don't know either of those stories, we have episodes about both Brownie Mary and Dennis Perone. You really do need to know your cannabis history. We also have an episode about the whole history of 420 and the Waldos who started it. But for those who do know, the Brownie Mary and Dennis Perone were giving away cannabis to the very, very ill in the San Francisco, California.
San Francisco, shout out the Bay Area and, you know, the activism that's been going on there for way, way long, which led to the first medical cannabis program in the United States, Prop 215, right here in California. You know,
you're in Tibet, though.
Yeah,
you're in Tibet.
Yes, that's right. Sorry. I meant over there because I'm clearly in the Milana Valley over here. You know, I'm going to make some finger hash while we talk right now. Just going to run my hand.
My grow room is doing very good for this early in the year. All right, we better go on to
nice tent.
Number 6.
All right.
Who smoked Pacololo as a part of the Choom Gang? Was it A, Don Ho, B, Lady Godiva, C, Barack Obama, or D, Bruno Mars?
And this one should be kind of a giveaway to everybody, you know, because as the question gives you the clue, it's somebody Hawaiian, and of course it was Barack Obama, our chillest president to date, I would venture to say, because he came up smoking weed, and there's a lot of accounts of his childhood friends confirming that.
Yes, he is the former president now. He was the future president back in the 1970s when he was blazing lots of Pacololo. If you want to hear that story, all these stories, they're all on Great Moments in Weed History podcast. Check it out.
Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, etc. All right, number 7. Who ran a campaign for sheriff in 1970 as a freak power candidate, calling for immediate cannabis legalization? He's won me over already, and he nearly won. Was it A, Abby Hoffman, B, Grace Slick, C, Keith Stroop, or D, Hunter S. Thompson? Which one of these people ran for sheriff and nearly won on a freak power platform? Of course, it was
freak power candidate Abby Hoffman. No, I was thinking it's Hunter S. Thompson. My personal.
You misled. There's some people who signed off. There's got to be at least one person who signed off between when you said the joke answer and the real answer. They'll be forever mistaken. But yes, indeed, it was Hunter S. Thompson, legendary journalist, who almost became a sheriff. All right, number 8. Which famous children's author also wrote a short story about getting wrecked on hashish-infused bonbons? Was it A, Louisa May Alcott, B, Dr. Seuss, C, Shel Silverstein, D, Lemony Snicket? Which one of these people was it? Probably all of them, frankly, but it was...
Well, I know which one sounds most like a strain name. I would definitely smoke some Lemony Snicket.
Yeah, seriously. Frankly, I would smoke Dr. Seuss strain as well. It's just something about it that makes me trust it. You know what I mean?
But the actual correct answer is A, Louisa May Alcott, the author of Little Women, was also writing articles about people getting lit on hashish candies. Our episode is therefore, of course, called Little Women Get Lit on the Great Moments in Weed History podcast. Brings us to number 9.
Yes.
Which author got pranked into including a recipe for hashish fudge in her first cookbook? Was it A, James Beard, B, Julia Child, C, Emerald Lagasse, or D, Alice B. Toklas? Got a kind of nice bam in there. This is a wild story. It's the whole way that the meme of the weed brownie came into existence. It starts in 1920s Paris, goes through the 60s in a Peter Sellers movie. It's a literary scandal, and it is all surrounding Alice B. Toklas. You may have heard of
Yes,
Alice
that's
B.
right.
Toklas
And you
Browning.
can go check out our episode about Alice B. Toklas and Gertrude Stein as well. Great moments in weed history. Now, last one, number 10. Which famous scientist credited their most high-level thinking to cannabis as a creative catalyst? Was it A, Madame Curie, B, Carl Sagan, C, Albert Einstein, or D, Neil deGrasse Tyson? And guys, this is a really fun episode of the show because we're talking, of course, about Carl Sagan. Cosmos was not so stoner friendly by accident. It was very much because the guy responsible for making it was absolutely a stoner, and a really smart one and a really legendary one, Carl friggin' Sagan.
Yeah, and somebody who wrote at length about not just his love of cannabis, but how it literally inspired his best thinking. So Carl Sagan's ideas are very valid. Your ideas are very valid.
Yes.
And we like to say on the show, you know, all the episodes are about these legendary figures and stories and smugglers and growers and dealers and celebrities, but great moments in weed history happen every day. They happen to all of us. You and your stoner crew of the present and past have had great moments in weed history together. Today, 420 is an incredible opportunity to share those memories. You may not be able to get in touch in person, but you can do it online. That's what we're here doing for everybody.
Exactly. And guys, we're doing this together. You know, this is a special 420 because it's not restricted to hanging out with who you're geographically close to. We're all hanging out together now. You know what I mean? And that's a beautiful thing. I'm so happy to share my 420 with so many more people than I ever could have just by going to a really big weed party. You know what I'm saying? So shout out everybody at home. Peace and love to everybody who's toking right now and celebrating this high holiday. And happy 420 to you, Bean.
Happy 420 to you, my friend. If you want to learn more about the people and places we talked about on today's episode, check out Great Moments in Weed History wherever you get podcasts. Happy 420 Mountain Time. Happy 420 World. And on to the rest of the show. We love you.
Peace.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Mark from the... Hey, how's it going? I'm Mark from the Disco Biscuits, and I am the founder of Headcount, and we register voters at concerts. A couple years ago, we launched the Cannabis Voter Project, so we're also helping the cannabis community to be informed voters and make some noise. As cannabis users and supporters, we have more at stake than anyone else in the democratic process. Whether it's legalization or more minute things like whether we're going to have delivery being legal, whether dispensaries are considered an essential business during the COVID crisis, or whether nonviolent cannabis users can get released from prison where the coronavirus is spreading, it all comes down to who we elect and how we vote. So I want you to do something. I want you to take out your phones and text CANNA to 40649. That's CANNA, C-A-N-N-A, to 40649. You can visit the website, cannabisvoter.info. When you get there, register to vote if you're not registered. You can easily speak out to your local and state elected officials and let them know that you're a cannabis voter, and you can find out what's happening in your state as well. So text CANNA to 40649, that's C-A-N-N-A, to 40649, or visit cannabisvoter.info. We're all at home. We're all in this together. We're all affected by this crisis. This is a chance to be productive, to do some positive things. If everyone hearing me now is registered to vote and gets informed about what's happening in the cannabis community and is speaking out to make their voices heard, then that's something positive to take away from this crisis. Bust out your phone and Text 40649 to CANNA. Thank you and enjoy all the music coming up.
All right, everybody. I hope you had fun playing Weed History Trivia with me and Abdullah. You can learn a lot more on our podcast, Great Moments in Weed History. Now, the High Stream is going to continue with live music from the Disco Biscuits, an incredible band and real supporters of the cannabis scene. So let's all fire one up. It's 420, and the High Stream rolls on.